parenting like a pro. Well, it can sometimes be a challenge. That's why we have the Smileys here to help us. Today we have Mrs. Smiley to give us advice for our next question. And here's the question. We could really help our daughter and her husband with child rearing. They don't seem to want our advice, though. What should we do? Uh-oh, grandparents.
Well, the reason they don't seem to want the grandparents' advice is because they don't want the grandparents' advice. So that's a good read.
Just that simple.
It's just that simple. You know, it's a tough thing because for 18 years, John and I like to say, you have 18 years of hands-on parenting. And then you're done with hands-on parenting. And hopefully, if you've done a good job, you've got a chance to be their friends then. But, you know, people that give you parenting advice, in fact, even when friends give you parenting advice, what you call those people is former friends, right? You really don't want parenting advice. Now, I think you can be a consultant. And what's the role of a consultant? Well, a consultant gives advice when asked.
Exactly.
And you can look for those opportunities and be ready, you know, should you ever be asked, do you think there's anything we can do? And we've had that privilege in our lives of the boys saying, you know, what do you think about this particular situation? And then you've got to be ready to answer. The other thing that I think is really important, or that a grandparent can do, is to discover a resource. Now, this is kind of a plug for one of our books, but it's so true. And when let's say they get the book, Be the Parent. When they give that book to their child, they do not say, you need to read this. What they say is, you know, I heard these people on TV. Sounded like an interesting book. I'd like you to read, and then let's talk about it. Do you think it's interesting? And then if they don't like anything in there, even though the grandparent may completely support it, they can be mad at us. So any book like that can be a help.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I think sometimes people feel as if we want to try this for ourselves, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, sure, absolutely. Okay. And I used to say, I am not going to make any of the mistakes my parents made. That will give me more time to make my own.
I love it.
It's true, and we're all going to make mistakes. And I think the grandparents loving and keeping a relationship, an adult relationship with their adult children, is a key to maybe becoming a consultant.
And that is key.
That is.
All right, thank you so much. And of course, if you would like to get a copy of their book, there's one way you could definitely do it by submitting a question. And if they pick your question, you would receive a copy of one of their books. Don't forget to visit their website. There's more there, parentinglikeapro.com.